name is Tregay, and today I want to talk about something deeply personal to me, but also a struggle that millions of other students worldwide struggle with every single day, and it often gets overlooked. Today I'm going to be talking all about inclusion, but specifically disability inclusion. Right now in the United States, 1 out of every 6 children has some sort of disability, whether that's autism, ADHD, or some other type of learning disability, Down syndrome, a sensory challenge, etc. But the heartbreaking part about this is that many of those students are still continuously left out of regular classrooms. They can be isolated, ignored, and sometimes they're even made out to be the problem. According to the National Center for Learning Disabilities, more than half of the students with disabilities reported feeling excluded at school. I don't have to think that hard to remember that feeling. I was lucky enough to be diagnosed with ADHD in 2009 when I was still a kid. However, even though I was in general education classes because I got diagnosed early, I still continuously felt left behind. Now, I personally got in trouble a lot due to forgetting things, zoning out, or for being too much. And even though I was diagnosed, I, as a child, didn't understand why I struggled with things that other kids seem to find so easy. And whether you personally are relating to this or not, I know that I'm not alone. There's so many other kids in classrooms right now who feel invisible. And it's not because they don't care or they're not smart, it's just because they learn differently. Their brain works differently, and the system was not built for different. That's why I'm asking you to care. If you want to give every child an equal opportunity to succeed in the classrooms, then support disability inclusion in schools. All you have to do is be willing to learn and be willing to stand by programs that are already making schools more inclusive. So let's talk about what inclusion really means. In simple terms, disability inclusion means making sure that students with disabilities are learning alongside their peers in regular classrooms, but with the support that they need. Examples of this might include a speech-to-text tool, a classroom aid, or even just extended time on tests. So many people confuse this with lowering the bar, but in reality, it's just making it more fair. And the best part about all of this is that it works. Research shows that inclusive education helps every single student in the classroom, not just students with disabilities. When we learn together, we learn empathy, compassion, and acceptance. Kids who grow up in inclusive classrooms tend to be more accepting and inclusive as an adult. I want to paint a picture for people who may not be as open to inclusive education. I want you to think about a student who has autism and he loves to talk, but he struggles with social interaction. What if his classmates were taught how to engage with him? What if they learned that his way of communicating is just as valid as theirs? If students with disabilities never communicate with students without disabilities, then they'll never learn how to communicate with each other. Inclusion starts with understanding, and understanding starts with learning. Once we understand the issue, the next step is support. One of my favorite organizations that supports this cause is called Best Buddies. Best Buddies is an organization that pairs students with disabilities and without disabilities in lasting, long friendships. These relationships give students with disabilities something that's so often taken for granted, and that's connections. There's also the Inclusive Schools Network, which gives schools tools to train teachers, adapt classrooms, and build environments where every child has a chance to grow. And you may be asking, what is my role? It can be just as simple as volunteering, sharing a post, donating gently used school supplies, or even just listening when someone with a disability shares their experience. Because sometimes that moment, that conversation changes a person's life. The moment that they finally feel included doesn't come from a program or a policy, it comes from a person who made them feel seen. And that person could be you. Every child deserves to feel like they belong, not just tolerated or accommodated, but genuinely included. And it doesn't take much to start creating that kind of world. There's only 2 steps. Learn about the issue and support the people doing the work. Inclusion is so much more than policies. It's about making sure every child, no matter the diagnosis, ability, or challenge, has the chance to thrive. So, in conclusion, be the reason a student feels welcome. Be the reason someone believes in themselves, because that voice that you help amplify might be the voice that changes the world. Thank you.